Welcome and thank you for joining our candidate forum for the Paradise Irrigation District Division 1. Unfortunately, we did not have sufficient candidate availability for Division 2, so we're unable to include Division 2 in this forum today. We thank the candidates of Division 2 for running and we wish them luck. My name is Claire Green and I'm the Voter Service Chair for the League of Women Voters of Butte County. The League of Women Voters has over 700 chapters throughout the US and beyond, and a 100-year history of promoting democratic engagement. While we do not endorse political parties or candidates, we passionately believe that candidate forums are essential to the democratic process as we seek to engage and educate you, the voter. As the Butte County League, we are pleased to be here to support our neighbor on the ridge, Paradise. A mere 23 days remain until Election Day. Many of you have already gotten your ballots and are no doubt looking them over. Paradise Irrigation District was formed in 1916. It has 5 geographical districts with 1 elected board member from each. And I apologize, divisions, not districts. 1 position is open for Division 1. We have 2 candidates for this position, and both are with us today. Chris Raymond and Brian Shaw, thank you. To our audience, whoever might join us live today and whoever is watching this recording after the fact, thank you so much for joining us. To our candidates, thank you for running for office, and we thank you in advance for treating each other with respect and courtesy, even when you disagree. You will each be given 2 minutes to make an opening statement. And we have 6 questions. You will each be given 2 minutes to respond. You do not have to take the entire 2 minutes to respond. Brief answers are welcome as well. I will try not to cut you off in the middle of a sentence unless you're really going beyond time or I think you maybe didn't see the paddle. And then you will have 2 minutes for a closing statement each. The initial order for candidates was randomly determined. Mr. Raymond, you will do your 2-minute opening statement first, and you may begin now.
Thank you, Claire. Thank you, League. I'm Chris Raymond. I've got a bachelor's degree in electrical engineering from the University of Notre Dame. I'm married with 5 children and 13 grandchildren. The first 15 years of my career, I was a manager for an international oil field engineering company, and I had the pleasure and wide experience of working in a number of countries, 35 different countries I lived and traveled and worked in. And I believe this gives me a lot of wide range of experience that I can bring to solving problems on the Paradise Irrigation District. In the last 17 years of my career, I was the manager of a international company that manufactures and designs engineered mechanical seals for pumping systems. I worked mostly in the United States, also with our team in England, and learned a great deal about pumps and pumping systems, which is one of the things that PID does very well, is pump water. My wife and I retired in 2018 and moved from the East Coast to, we chose Paradise to settle in. Our home survived the fire, praise God, but our trees, outbuildings, and landscaping were severely damaged. We spent most of 2019 rebuilding and recovering. Then we said to ourselves, what can we do to help our neighbors and our friends do the same thing? So we've dedicated ourselves in our retirement to working with our church. I'm serving also on 2 volunteer committees with PID. And in summary, just trying to make Paradise a safer, better, friendlier place and easy to move back to is our goal in helping to work with our community. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Shaw, you may begin your 2-minute opening statement.
Hello, my name is Brian Shaw. I'm the incumbent director for District 1 for Paradise Irrigation District. First, I would like to congratulate Mr. Rehmann. His resume is extremely impressive. To get to mine, so I am a 35-year Paradise resident. I was born and raised here. I'm a general contractor, currently building houses in Paradise and trying to get people to come home. I had no interest in running for PID previously until I started my rebuild process and started to notice deviations in what I thought was common sense. So that's what led to me initially running for the board position that was open for PID. I've learned a lot since I've become a director since March, and I would just like to continue helping people from Paradise get home as easily as possible and trying to fix the problems that were unable to be fixed before the Camp Fire of 2018. We have a blank canvas now. And so with a 100-year-old water district, there are things in this town that need to be repaired in a way that makes it efficient for people to come home and affordable. And so I think that, as boots on the ground, I bring the experience of rebuilding homes, mine included, that the people of Paradise need right now to continue rebuilding and continuing their process. And I'd love to serve them for the next 4 years as director of Division 1.
Thank you. All right, we will now move on to our first question. And Mr. Shaw, you will answer first. Question 1. The PID's motto is "Our water, our future." What do you believe are the top 3 challenges facing PID in the next year, Mr. Shaw?
The top challenges in the next 3 years is we have currently lost 2 very valuable assets to Paradise Irrigation District in Kevin Phillips and Jim Ladrini. So we will be replacing the manager of PID, which is an extremely important position. We have a fantastic interim currently, but there will be a permanent position that needs to be filled. Also, the other thing that will continue to affect PID both in the next year and in the future is the sustainability of the district. We've lost the majority of our customers, and so that's why making it easy for people to come back is so important. Also, in the next year, the other thing that we're going to be looking at, of course, is making the process easier for people to rebuild, and most importantly, communication with our clients, getting the word out there that the water is drinkable and it's safe to come home. And I think that would be the most three important things that PID needs to address in this next year.
Thank you. Mr. Raymond.
Thank you. I think also the staff at PID is very important. In addition to our director moving on, we have some incredibly gifted people at the Paradise Lake Water Treatment Plant who are in senior age group. And so we need to be looking at a succession plan so that we can get bright young people in training under them, so we have a continuity of good staff. I also agree that maintaining the incredibly good quality of PID water and getting that message out to the people of Paradise, of Butte County, of anywhere that anyone wants to move here, that we have some of the best quality and best tasting water in America. We have an infrastructure issue as well. As you know, many miles of pipeline are damaged, many service laterals, and we have some leaks that have to be found after the fire. And as well as we have to replace all those many thousands of water meters. We've got some good funding from FEMA to replace the meters, but they will all have to be replaced so that we can go back on metered water usage. So those would be my primary challenges that I find.
Thank you. Next question, and Mr. Raymond, you will answer first. The PID's website states that the health and safety of our customers continues to be of utmost concern as we work together through the recovery process. How do you intend to ensure transparency and clear communication to your District 1 constituents, Mr. Raymond?
The PID is already doing a fairly good job. I think we need to continue doing. Mickey Rich is doing communications there at the PID as far as sending out bulletins, both electronic, email, and paper bulletins with the district, the rate-paying customers, what is happening with the water. So I think we need to continue doing the one-on-one type of communications that we're doing. And then there's also some thought, which I support, of even having a billboard at the entrance to Paradise, maybe down the Skyway a bit, just advertising what a great job PID is doing on supplying high-quality water to this region. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Shaw.
I'd like to mirror what Chris said. Mickey Rich, who is in charge of IT over at PID, has done a very good job on leaflets and the website. Currently, if you're addressing directly to District 1 constituents, my email and phone number is directly available on the PID website. I currently field roughly 5 to 10 calls a week directly from constituents, trying to help get them what they need and the answers that they're looking for. As far as moving ahead for PID as a whole, I think that using Newsbrief and local news outlets is really important to getting the word out of how good our water is up here, and that it's safe and people can come home. And so that's my opinion on that. I think Mickey's done a great job, and I believe we are accessible as board of directors as far as availability and reachability. And just continuing that, I think PID would be doing a great service to all of its users.
Thank you. Next question, Mr. Shaw will answer first. Does the PID recovery process offer an opportunity for climate change resilience? Mr. Shaw. Mr. Shaw, you might be on mute. I can't hear you if you're talking. There you go.
Sorry, I was on mute. So as far as PID and climate change, I know that there is currently ideals of what to do with the surplus amount of water that PID has due to losing its customer base. One of those ideas has been putting it back into the aquifer, which then would help farmers in the valley and others along that line that use that aquifer. Also in sustainability, we've just been reached out by Tesla, and we're hoping to receive grant funding for Tesla power walls to use for both shaving during peak usage, and then also in power outages for a few of Paradise Irrigation District's current facilities, which is going to reduce our carbon footprint significantly due to the fact that we're able to self-generate more as time goes by.
Thank you. Mr. Raymond.
I would also mirror what Mr. Shaw said about the Tesla batteries. I'm very much in favor of doing that to shave off peak power use, and as well as recharging the aquifer. I think that one thing that we should be thinking about, though, as well as an irrigation district, is teaching our constituents more about the wise use of water and how to use it within the town. We've got a model garden at the PID office on Clark Road, which has been managed for a number of years by the local board. And I'm not sure it gets enough airtime, enough publicity. And I'd like to see that maybe grow a little bit and bring in school kids and teach families and children. This is a good way to plant a garden in an arid country, such as Paradise is, where you don't have to flood it with water every day. I think that would help grow a new generation of water users who use water wisely. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next question. Mr. Raymond will answer first. The PID has a temporary district manager with Tom Lando being appointed for 6 months. What qualities will you look for in a permanent manager? Mr. Raymond.
The permanent manager will need to come to us with capabilities, obviously, in water management. I think we should have, besides that, personnel management capabilities, the ability to manage people, and budgetary management experience. With those three things, I think we would find an ideal candidate: water experience, budgetary experience, people experience. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Shaw, on to you.
Paradise Irrigation District is facing a very interesting problem in replacing the district manager. Our previous manager, Kevin Phillips, was promoted in-house, and Kevin he did a fantastic job of everything that our district needed at the time that he was needed. Ideally, we would find Kevin's twin. He was a big loss to us. As far as a new district manager, PID needs to be seeking someone that's both educated in government relations, with how much we are involved with FEMA and the recovery effort, as well as management skills, both office and field. There's two very integral parts to PID, which is the office side of things and the field operations side of things. And I think ideally a manager would be capable at balancing the needs of both. In addition, I would prefer to see someone promoted from within that knows the district, due to the fact that Paradise is facing issues that don't normally cross the table of a water board manager. And so someone that's multifaceted is going to be mandatory to take that position. Thank you.
Thank you. So this is our final question. I know I said 6, and then I looked down and realized I'd copied a question twice. So really only 5 because of my expert word processing skills. Yeah. So home stretch, everybody, home stretch. So last question, Mr. Shaw will answer first. If you are the successful candidate for District 1, what are your top 2 or 3 goals for your first or next term of service? Mr. Shaw. Unmute yourself, please. Thank you.
So something that comes across my phone fairly frequently with constituents is we have a lot of issues with services from private roads up here, and then also, and so we need to address that, and we haven't been able to do that yet. But the feasibility of rebuilding is so important in Paradise that every facet the PID is involved in people building their houses. We need to address the issues that these people are having as they come along. And unfortunately, there's so many different ones that come all the time. It's really hard to base it down to 2 or 3 specific issues that I would like to focus on the next year. One thing is community relations. As much communication as we can between PID and the public is very important to me. The second thing that we need to really address is our spending and the wise choice of how we're going to spend our money as far as the field operations, and then also just being fiscally conservative. We do expect at some point a PG&E lawsuit to pay out, and then also we have some FEMA funding coming in that needs to be spent responsibly as far as the district future goes. Those are two of my big concerns. The other one that I have is I'm a firm believer in making your employees happy, and happy employees tend to relate back to productivity. And so taking care of the people that work for PID that have been with us for this time, in particular through what the campfire has presented to us, taking care of those employees that have been very loyal to us is very important. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, Mr. Raymond.
My three main priorities would be safety, affordability, and reliability. Safety, because we drink the water, we feed it to our children and our grandchildren. I think that's a given. Affordability comes from a number of different factors. As Mr. Shaw pointed out, the money that we're getting in from insurance and FEMA and PG&E on the one hand, on the other hand, to keep the rates as low as possible so that people can put the numbers together and afford to come back to live on the ridge. And then reliability, with the damages that we've suffered and the lines that are being repaired, we need to make sure that water is something that's always there. We can always rely on it, and it's there at the tap when you need it for drinking, for irrigation, and all the other purposes. Thank you. Oh, fire protection, amongst other things. We always want to have water available for fire.
Thank you. All right, we're now on to our closing statements. And Mr. Raymond, you will go first. You may now begin your 2-minute closing statement.
Thank you. Well, in summary, I think I just want to repeat what I said at the beginning. I'm running for director for Division 1 so I can give back to my community. I really want to be able to use my time, my energy, my resources, my training, my experience to feed back to this community and make it a better place. I think the fact that I'm retired helps me. I'm not working like I used to, 60, 70, 80 hours a week. I have a few spare hours in the week to devote to my town and to this position. I'd be most grateful to anyone contact me. Can they contact me through the League of Women Voters? If so, please do so. I'd be happy to talk to you directly. Thank you.
We don't always field candidate contacts, but just so you know. But your information is on the county election information. Anyway, quick interlude. Mr. Shaw, you may now begin your 2-minute closing statement.
Well, first, I'd like to thank the League of Women Voters. I appreciate what you guys do every election. Giving us a forum to debate back and forth is a fantastic thing. As back to PID, the water is our future. It's so important that we're able to provide sustainable drinking water to the town. I would like to continue doing that in my community service with PID. I've learned quite a bit in the last 6 or 7 months. And to be honest with you, I don't think that Chris could be a bad candidate. He would be a great director for Division 1, and I think we both just want the same thing from the town and for PID. And so, I look forward to serving another term on PID officially as an electee. But I think either way you go, the town's going to be in good hands. And I will continue my community service somewhere else if I don't win. If not, we will continue to try to provide the town of Paradise with clean, affordable drinking water for as long as we can.
Thank you. Well, on behalf of the League of Women Voters of Butte County, I want to thank both of you for being here today. I want to thank you for your thoughtful answers and for your civil discourse. To our audience who will be viewing this later, we didn't have anybody live with us today, but it's sort of an odd time. That's okay. Please remember to vote. Like I said, you should already be receiving your ballots in the mail. Votersedge.org is another great resource for information. You can enter your address and pull up your ballot. It will have the candidates that will be appearing on your ballot. For example, if you are not sure if you are in Division 1 or Division 2, etc., that might be a good place to start, other than the Paradise Irrigation District's website. At votersedge.org, again, if our candidates have not posted their information there yet, please do so. And yes, thank you again. Please vote, and good afternoon.